People want to show the message, release the messages, show the messages. What are we in second grade?
Ladies and gentlemen, DrDisrespect, the two-time back-to-back wife cheater honor guy who gets involved in a lot of drama and unnecessarily savory situations recently, which was texting a minor, which led to his Twitch ban, is back with the truth, right? So he went on stream earlier today. He's been streaming for 4 hours. Early on in the beginning, he started out by playing Wordle, right? He was playing Wordle right here, playing a little mind games, and then he went in on to his statement. Now, for context, this was because DrDisrespect, he put out a tweet, and he basically took a step back from the internet, right? Which, of course, is deleted now, right? The statement he put out is deleted. Sorry, this post has been deleted. It's been backed up. DrDisrespect now deleted Twitch ban statement in which he admits to inappropriately messaging a minor. It's right here. He says, hello, I'd like to make a quick statement. Let's cut the effing BS. As you know, there's no filter with me. I've always been upfront and real with you guys on anything that I can be upfront about. And I'm always willing to accept responsibility, which is why I'm here now. First and foremost, I do want to apologize to everyone in my community, as well as those close to me, my team, and everyone at Midnight Society Game Studio. He then would say, were there Twitch whisper messages with an individual minor back in 2017? The answer is yes. Were there real intentions behind these messages? The answer is absolutely not. These are casual, mutual conversations that sometimes lead too much in the direction of being inappropriate, but nothing more, nothing illegal happened, no pictures were shared, no crimes were committed. I never even met the individual. I went through a lengthy arbitration regarding a civil dispute with Twitch, and that case was resolved by a settlement. Let me be clear, it was not a criminal case against me, and no criminal charges have ever been brought against me, right? So that was his statement. For the most part, that was enough for people to, kind of make their mind up and say, hey, he admitted to messaging a minor. I'm done defending this dude. Whatever the case may be, you should never message a minor, whether it be inappropriate or not. You really shouldn't have friends or be in contact with children when you're almost, I think he was a 40-year-old dude with a wife, with kids. So it's just weird, and people kind of came to their own conclusion that, yeah, we're not going to be defending this guy anymore. And to make it even weirder, he would end up deleting his tweet. This was on August 14th. He would delete his confession with a minor. Someone, Jake luckily archived it, the guy we just took a look at. And that kind of justified people's reasonings to step away from him. Why the heck would you put out a statement and then delete it? The damage has been done. He then started posting like these cryptid tweets after his statement, like this one, he's playing checkers while you're playing chess, and people made like a bunch of jokes saying like he was playing chess or checkers with minors and things like that. Good jokes, good memes. He's a character. He memed himself, right? And on August 14th, he said vacation is just too good right now. We'll be back soon though, champs. We have lots to talk about. Yeah. Are people still streaming video games? What a snooze fest. This was on September 3rd. It's now the 6th. Where he's coming from, Epstein Island. It's a PDF, not a doc. He blocked me. Let me take a screenshot. And he posted this like video of him, on a boat coming back to the island, right? Coming back to the Champions Club, the arena, right? And then 5 hours ago, he would announce he would be going live after his vacation, which led to this. DrDisrespect's full response to the allegations.
Maybe it's time to tell my side of the story. Huh, champs?
I do think it's funny that he says we missed the point. Mind you, I'm not a DrDisrespect hater. I'm not a DrDisrespect fan. If he's doing stuff illegally with minors, I'm a hater. But if he's not, he's just a bit of a creep, a bit of a weirdo, right? But to say we missed the point is hilarious when he put out the statement. If the statement wasn't true, he shouldn't have put it out. He should have waited when he was ready, like now, to finally reveal things instead of trying to play weird mind games that end up making him look 10 times worse than he was in that moment.
You see, there was a lawsuit pending, and as part of that arbitration, all parties were not allowed to speak publicly about the case.
Okay.
I respected those rules. My lawsuit against Twitch was eventually resolved, as you all know.
Yeah.
But even then, as part of the settlement, all parties were still prohibited from speaking publicly about the case or the settlement.
Interesting.
However, if one side...
Now, that point is what makes a lot of people question, were the texts that bad? Were the chat logs this bad? Because I understand Amazon is not going to, want this information public. They're also not going to want to make it public that they helped hide these types of chats or hide some type of illegal activity involving a minor. But it also makes a lot of people question, were they that bad? Because obviously if something is so horrific and it's happening behind the scenes of your company, you'd want to platform that and just say, look, this happened. We're parting ways as soon as possible. This is what happened. Lock this guy up. But none of that happened, right? And that's a lot of what other people agreed with. They kind of said, if it was that bad, wouldn't this dude be locked up? Because I agree with that. If something is so bad, this guy's doing illegal things, saying, hey, let's meet up and do, blah, 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 blah. Lock this guy up. I don't think anyone would have a problem with that. And if they do, then they're creeps too.
Side violated that confidentiality, then the other side could respond. And again, champs, I respected all the confidential obligations. But apparently Twitch's own disgruntled employees didn't feel the need to abide by those same obligations. Cody Connors, ex-Twitch employee, wasn't even involved, leaks Twitch's reported reason.
So Cody Connors, for anyone who doesn't know, is a former Twitch employee who was using the knowledge of knowing why DrDisrespect was banned for years to try to sell concert tickets and say, like, guys, I know the secrets. Just buy my ticket, come to the show, and I'll tell you. And he never did it. And then all of a sudden in 2024, he magically reveals it. It ends up going to Rolling Stone and becomes like worldwide news. And it all started because Cody Connors put out a tweet basically saying he was banned in 2020 for doing this thing with the minor. He in question was DrDisrespect, but Cody Connors did it in a way so it'd be like sneaky and he wouldn't be accused of saying the name, and it was just a whole lot of nonsense. If you missed all that, there's a lot of context you should look into.
Years later, Cody, why do this? What was the point? This was settled professionally. And you, knowing how black and white the internet is, you decided, you fucking rat, to leak the reported reason Twitch banned me in 2020. I mean, for what? Cody? Why? Did you not know the repercussions from spewing lies about the two-time? Did you not know the repercussions of accusing me, Cody Connors? You see, you don't know shit, and it was obvious from your tweet. You didn't have any firsthand knowledge of my dispute with Twitch. You said that I got banned from Twitch because I was sexting a minor through Whisper's messages? Do you even know what the legal definition of sexting is? I do. And yeah, I used Twitch as Whispers, but trust me, I wasn't sexting anyone. You also said the word minor, Cody. I even made sure that word was emphasized in my statement, edited, etc., just to make sure these so-called journalists would pick up on it.
See, it was all a big brain move. He made sure to include minor, edit minor out, add minor back in, then delete the tweet so journalists would talk about it, which, I mean, I guess it worked. But again, who's to say that this was his plan? This could just be something after the fact, and he's saying like, oh, I pulled a big brain on you. No one will really know. Again, this is all a situation where we're just kind of following as it happens, and we have to go along with the he said, she said, because until Twitch is revealing the chat logs, DrDisrespect most likely doesn't have the chat logs since he's been banned from Twitch. If he does, then we're waiting for someone to reveal the chat logs and show what happened. Again, there are lots of people out there who will say they're not going to reveal the chat logs. They don't have to reveal the chat logs, and that's fine to agree with or believe. But personally, I feel like that's the only way we'll really know the true context and information in these whispers is if we see them.
And boy, oh boy, did they ever, champs. When you and all these so-called journalists, Cody, fired off your tweets, did any of you consider that the Twitch user may have been over the legal age of consent at the time of the messages?
Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. So he says legal age of consent. Now, you know, for any non-rocket scientists out there, the age of consent is usually varying by state, varying by country. So if we take a look at Wikipedia, at the different age of consents of states, I'm going to probably be on an FBI watch list just Googling this, but there's something called an unrestricted age of consent, which means the age from which one is deemed able to consent to having sex with anyone else at or above the age of consent, or the marriage age if they must be married. And if we sort it by lowest to highest, we can see states like Alabama, Georgia, Hawaii, Indiana, Iowa. Surprisingly, there's a long list. Some includes 17. And then, you know, once we get to like Alaska and Arizona is where it switches to 18. So there's a good amount. Like, what is this? Like 15 states that you can legally, technically, you know, do the dirty with a, you know, person under the age of 18, which does not, in my eyes, make you less creepy.
You didn't. Neither did any of these journalists, and neither did Twitch at the time of the ban. You also tried to tell the world that I was trying to meet up with this user at TwitchCon, but you're wrong. Let's set the record straight. I never intended to meet this user ever. We never made plans to meet at TwitchCon or anywhere else, and in fact, we never met.
And again, none of this is proven. It's all hearsay. One side said you did, the other side says you didn't. There's no proof. Just got to put that out there. Again, I'm not a Doc hater. I'm not a Doc supporter. Just giving the facts that nobody knows the real information. This is just Dr. Disrespect and what he says happened.
Person ever. Your bullshit accusations gave false courage to other former Twitch employees to make shit up as well. I suspect all of you sort of planned and coordinated this attack. These big-time publications, these journalists, these various outlets are sort of just gossip channels now, don't you think, champs? They act like they're just gossip channels now, without any real journalism and real research happening.
This is a fair point. I think that a lot of journalists and a lot of like news companies are kind of moving away from 100% factual information, and they can go along with spreading rumors and allegations and like hearsay because they are protected by certain laws that protect like journalists and reporters and news companies.
They report on all this based on leaks from two former Twitch employees, one of whom was supposedly on the trust and safety team. If these anonymous sources worked on the trust and safety team at the time of my Twitch suspension in 2020, then you would hope they would tell the truth. But apparently that's just too much to ask. If these former trust and safety team members, and by the way, I know exactly who they are, actually had firsthand knowledge, then what they conveniently left out is, 1, Twitch's trust and safety team, the same employees that decided to ban me, internally admitted that the whisper messages were not sexting. And 2, Twitch's trust and safety team, the same employees that decided to ban me, internally acknowledged that the whispers did not constitute child sexual abuse material CSAM. I'll say it again. Neither I nor the Twitch user exchanged any sexual graphic messages or images. Cody Connors and these other anonymous sources are trying to paint a picture that I was exchanging sexually explicit messages and photos with this Twitch user. That never happened.
See, that's kind of my point is, again, I don't think Dr. Disrespect's a good dude by any means. He's cheated on his wife multiple times. You know, he got caught texting or, you know, video chatting with a trans escort, and they were doing shows back and forth, and he ended up blocking her. You know, he's not a very good morally high ground guy. And he's also now kind of confirming the fact that he was talking inappropriately with someone who may have been the age of consent in some states. That's again another gray area where it's like any adult should be like, yeah, 18's the best. Not the best age. You know what I mean? 18 is the age that we will accept at the lowest, right? That should be the standard in my eyes. But Doc is someone who says, hey, maybe they're 16 in Alabama. You know what I mean? So yeah, I do think it's important to specify and be specific. We can all admit Dr. Disrespect is creepy for kind of talking weirdly, talking inappropriately to a minor, right? We won't see the chats. We don't know. It could have been like a meme, could have been a joke taken out of context, could have been something that he said before knowing the age. We'll never know this until the chat logs are out. So I think that it's safe to agree that we can say he's just creepy. Maybe a slime ball, you know, a cornball, a creepy old man with the creepy mustache to match, right? But can we say this guy is a, you know, a PDF? Considering there were no pictures shared, considering he's saying that even Twitch found there was nothing there that was considered abuse material. That is honestly something, again, we'll need to wait to see the chat logs. I'm more than happy to say that Dr. Disrespect's a creepy guy who is willing to bend the law a little if it applies in some states, right? I mean, he basically said it already.
I even used the word inappropriate purposely. And look at how it's defined by everyone, champs. Huh?
Another big brain
including
move.
These defaming articles. I'm sorry, but mutual bantering with inappropriate jokes taken out of context should have never led to me getting banned from Twitch in the first place. I mean, how would each of you look if all of your private DMs, your text messages, your chats were looked at, dissected, and taken out of context by someone who's deliberately trying to find something inappropriate in those words?
It happens. I had somebody go through my Twitter, go through my Reddit, go through my Instagram, go through every site I've ever used and try to find something to make me seem creepy. He ended up finding like me liking pictures of girls and like commenting on pictures of like women, and he thought I was a simp or something.
And this is not a situation where a victim publicly accuses someone of wrongdoing. That never happened here. We're talking about allegations that Twitch made against me as a half-baked reason for justifying their actions of suspending and shutting down my channel. Allegations that Twitch made without even a legal analysis of whether the whisper messages were legal. You see, I engage with my community. I engage with other streamers. And through Twitch Whispers, I communicate with Twitch users. Conversations that consisted of a variety of playing games and gaming politics, content creation, random stuff. This was the extent of my whispers with this Twitch user. On June 21st, 2020, my ex-Twitch partner manager learns that I exchanged whispers with the Twitch user. And I say ex-partner manager because for years, this guy didn't do anything for me, my community, or my channel. For years. I'm talking no front page love. You're talking about the face of the platform, right? Literally.
Was he? Am I out of the loop? Was Dr. Disrespect ever the face of Twitch? I would maybe consider like Pokimane up there. You know, there are plenty of streamers that when I think of Twitch, I just think of instantly.
The face of the platform. And I know Champions Club remembers this. We got zero front page love on the website. He was never on my channel. He didn't follow me on Twitter. He wouldn't even inform us about Twitch rival tournaments. We're talking about the two-time Twitch rival tournament. Oh, I'm sorry. Would you want to play in it? We got zero support from this guy. And it was just so obvious that he carried a grudge against the two-time. So after we signed with Twitch in 2019, we asked for a new partner manager. And just a few months later, that ex-Twitch partner manager is directly involved with getting me banned. Coincidence?
Interesting. See, now we're opening up a whole new can of worms that I think would be fun to explore. A fun, content farm for people to look into. And I kind of wish he was dropping names. In this video, he ends up going in soon on like other examples of content creators on Twitch who have done some pretty inappropriate and wild things that weren't banned. Again, drop some names, let people do research. With the Shadman logs and stuff, we had people looking into everyone who had an involvement with Shadman and Chris Tyson and Mr. Beast and all that. Drop some names, player. I mean, if you're innocent and you know who all these people are who treated you wrong, again, he could be protected by or not protected, but under some type of NDA or clause, or he doesn't want to be sued for slander or whatnot. But I say drop some names. If my career was over to a point where I'm getting accused of doing things with minors, I'm dropping names. I'm dropping every name that I can think of that is setting me up in his eyes.
The Twitch user tells the ex-Twitch partner manager that they do not want to report anything to Twitch. I'll repeat that sentence one more time just in case anybody missed that one. The Twitch user tells this ex-Twitch partner manager that they do not want to report anything to Twitch. But this ex-Twitch partner manager encourages the user and even directs them to file a report directly with Twitch, even though the user told him clearly that we never physically met anywhere and that no photographs were exchanged.
That's
clearly
interesting.
directs them to file a but partner manager more time just in case anybody missed that one. The Twitch user tells this ex-Twitch partner manager that they do not want to report anything to Twitch. But this ex-Twitch partner manager encourages the user and even directs them to file a report directly with Twitch, even though the user told him clearly that we never physically met anywhere and that no photographs were exchanged. On June 24th, 2020, Twitch's Special Operations Team receives and reviews the user's report. They find no issues and determine that it did not warrant any further escalation to Twitch's law enforcement response team.
So, yeah, I mean, again, we're going with the idea that Doc is telling the truth here. You may not believe him. I don't 100% believe him either, but the way he's wording it sounds, pretty, based in reality, like he's reading an article or he's reading something that he was given, maybe some type of document or file. And they said they found no issue. Again, you shouldn't be talking inappropriately to minors, regardless of what the age of consent is. It's still a little weird, but there was nothing there warranting, escalation to the police. Can we agree and say that there have been plenty of people who have engaged with minors who haven't been, contacted by the police or arrested and whatnot? Sure. There are people like EDP. There are people like Cyrax. There are people like Christian. There are plenty of people who have done things with minors who were not, escalated to the level of police or being arrested because of it. So again, that's not giving DrDisrespect like a get out of jail free card. Just saying based on what he's saying, again, it kind of helps the case that what he said wasn't as horrible as the people who are making it out to be.
That would have been the end. That should have been the end. But that partner manager, oh boy, did he had it out. He had it out for the two-time. He finds out that no further action will be taken, so what does he do? He personally escalates the report to a friend on the Twitch's LER team. The LER team, remember, that's the Twitch's law enforcement response team. He escalates the report to a friend on Twitch's LER team. So a day later, on June 25th, the LER analyst pulls the entirety of the whisper messages and begins discussing them with his director of the LER team. Mind you, this director is on vacation at that time and does not have access to their computer or work files. Let me just remind you, I went through a multi-year, a big-time arbitration, okay? And, you discover a lot of stuff. Mind you, this director is on vacation at that time.
Okay.
The LER analyst cherry picks and sends a few targeted excerpts out of context from the whisper messages to this director. Now, if you do this, you can make anyone's messages look inappropriate, even when they aren't. Within less than 1 hour, this LER...
See, that's another point that's kind of interesting. Because, for example, you could take something I say out of context and make it seem a lot worse than it really is. Like if someone were to take like an edgy joke that I like instantly say just kidding, or I'm trolling, or I'm mocking someone, if you take it out of context of like mocking or trolling, then it would seem super offensive. I feel like there's not much of a way that you can text a minor inappropriately in a way where you're fired from your like streaming company in a way that it can be taken out of context. You know, you when it comes to like PMs, that you have to go in with the idea knowing they can be leaked, they can be shared, and not give people a way to take things out of context. Obviously, if people like delete things and edit things and Photoshop things, of course, it can be taken out of context and people can lie. But if a message between an adult and a minor can be taken out of context in a way where it looks disgusting, it's kind of hard to defend that. It's kind of hard to argue that in any real reality. Again, you guys can let me know if I'm wrong and give me like an example, but I the way I hear that doesn't sound good.
LER analyst and his director have made the decision to suspend me from Twitch. Twitch submits a report to NCMEC. You guys all read those little articles, huh? Mm-hmm. The NCMEC. Twitch submits that report. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Guess what? As far as I know, and over 4 years have passed, they didn't do anything with the report. As far as I know, they didn't escalate Twitch's report to law enforcement.
So that's another good point. You know, because Cody Connors and Slasher, all these other guys are trying to make it seem like these texts were so bad. They were just so horrible that we had to send them to the Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Yet nothing came from it. Again, not defending Doc. Just saying, if there are messages that are so horrifically bad and absolutely disgusting, there should have been something that happened within 4 years. And nothing happened. You know, I can claim, oh man, this guy's claims were so bad, I had to like call the FBI on him. I had to call his local police. And if the dude's still just on the street, it clearly wasn't that bad enough for the FBI or the police to look into it or arrest him, right? That's kind of, you know, again, that's a good point by Dr. Disrespect.
Mind you, the same people that made this decision admit internally that the messages did not constitute sexting. The same people that made this decision at Twitch admit internally that the messages did not warrant any child sexual abuse material charge. Twitch makes this decision to terminate my contract and ban me while admitted they did not perform any legal analysis of whether the messages exchanged were illegal in any way. Twitch makes this decision to terminate my contract and ban me while admitting that they never investigated the age of consent in the jurisdiction where the user's messages were sent and received. Twitch makes this decision to terminate my contract and ban me without ever interviewing me, the user, or any other third party, including the partner manager. It's fucking unbelievable!
Jeez. So I guess that kind of goes into the point of why he was able to win that lawsuit by suing Twitch, you know, for ending his contract. There's probably something in that clause that says if he commits a crime, they can legally end his contract. You know, like if you have a streamer and they go out and commit like a mass, you know, something horrible, they probably have some type of clause to be like, oh yeah, we're removing that. Screw you. You're not getting paid if you're going to go rot in prison, right? So considering they weren't able to get away with that from Dr. Disrespect, again, in my eyes, also kind of goes into the fact that it wasn't that bad. Again, he's a creep. You shouldn't be texting minors inappropriately. But again, he's not some horrible monster who's out trying to sweep kids into his room and, you know, do things with them. He's not. He got caught doing some weird texts, maybe sending memes or saying some jokes out of context. Again, he doesn't even mention if this was a boy or a girl, how old they were. He does mention the age of consent a lot, so it does make me think they had to at least be 16 years old, because there is no lower age of consent in terms of like what I showed you earlier with the able to do inappropriate things.
I'm not going to get into every detail regarding my legal case, but these former Twitch employees that claim to have firsthand knowledge, they just don't have a clue. They didn't report any facts. The judge in the case determined that the whispers were not illegal. So then why did Twitch use these messages against me? Why did Twitch treat the doc so differently from...
See, something doesn't have to be illegal for it to be wrong. I'm not too well versed on the law when it comes to interacting with minors because I don't do it. But let's say, I'm playing Roblox, right? A game obviously that has children on it, and I don't vet every child, and I don't play in like adults only servers. If I go into a server full of children and start like flirting with them, obviously it's wrong. It's disgusting. Would I probably go to jail for that? Probably not. There might be some law, again, that says I will. But legally, there's probably a weird area where, it would have to take some real crazy coercion and attempt for me to, like, message them privately and get in touch with them offside of Roblox. But if I were to just go inside a Roblox lobby and flirt with someone, there's probably not a lot there for the law to work with, right? Again, DrDisrespect is very precise in the way that he words what he's saying, and he's still not answering much.
There are other streamers. I mean, outside of the obvious. I mean, just take a look at me. Right? Unfiltered. The realest motherfucker in this industry. 6'8", gorgeous, athletic, successful, college degree, college athlete, bourbon business, gaming studio, beautiful family. And trust me, we've worked hard for over a decade to improve as a person, a husband and father, and to get where we're at today. I mean, I'm in such a good place today. And all these people, they all act like they're just so perfect. I'm not perfect. I don't claim to be perfect. Sometimes I do. But I also didn't do all the shit that they're saying I did. But then that doesn't make a story, right?
I guess so.
They wanted media attention. The media wants controversy. And by sensationalizing all this with big, inaccurate headlines like sexting and sexually explicit, you all got what you wanted at the expense of the tube time. The reality is, they wanted to cut down the doc. Plain and simple. Take a look at...
My question is, if it wasn't this bad, and he thinks that it's a clear attempt at slander, or trying to ruin his reputation, trying to ruin his business, ruin his career, take money away from him, why is he not suing? Why is he not doing cease and desists? Does he know that he'll lose? Does he just not want to go through with it? I mean, of course, I'm not, the smartest person alive. I'm not a lawyer by any means. I don't know how easy it would be to sue someone or attempt to sue someone for accusing you of doing some life and career ruining things. But if he's true that none of this happened and it wasn't that bad, why not sue Cody Connors? Why not sue, or, sue the writer of the Rolling Stone article? I don't know. To me, it seems like if someone were to put out a hit piece about me doing something I know in my heart and with evidence that maybe I'm not able to share that I didn't do, I would definitely go through with some sort of legal action to protect myself and my future.
Look at some of these horrendous acts of Twitch streamers that were never banned. I've got some examples right here.
Ooh.
Example number 1. A streamer that frequently used the N-word while publicly streaming, which constitutes a violation of Twitch's policies if accompanied by hateful intent. Twitch scheduled a meeting with the streamer to ascertain his intent to determine whether his conduct was a violation of Twitch's policies. ultimately determining it was not a breach of Twitch's policies. Why wasn't I called into a meeting?
So, again, this is another example where it would help to say names, because, like, what's the context? Like, is it a black guy saying the N-word? Obviously, if he's, like, insulting people, calling them a hard R, that's kind of, like, messed up. But is it a black dude just saying the N-word with, like, an A at the end? Is it, Pokimane when she said the N-word with an A at the end? You need a little bit more context than that, Doc.
Meeting. Why wasn't my intent taken into consideration, champs? Example number 2. Streamer was reported for discussing doing things with deceased animals and discussing pedophilia, all while live streaming. Never suspended, but instead given a multi-million-dollar contract.
Ooh.
Example number 3. Streamer was reported for a sexually explicit stream involving children and telling children to send Snapchats of them playing with themselves.
Ooh.
Never suspended, but instead, given a multi-million-dollar contract.
See, I'm out of the loop. I know some of the controversial characters. I never heard about any of these. And if you guys know, let me know, please. But yeah, I agree. These people should be banned as well. If DrDisrespect got banned, they should definitely be banned. That's disgusting.
It's so obvious that certain Twitch executives, employees involved had personal biases against the doc and used all of this as an opportunity to terminate my contract. Go back and look at the timing of all this too. The doc's termination lines up with 2 preferable, profitable, and expensive streamers leaving Mixer. As soon as Twitch knew that Mixer had failed, these other expensive streamers needed a new streaming platform. So Twitch rushed through its decision to terminate the 2-time. You see, I shouldn't even be banned from Twitch. It has affected us on so many levels. Back in 2020 and now in 2024.
Yeah.
But because of you, Cody, we just lost. Fuck, man. Unfortunately, we have to lay off people from Midnight Society.
Midnight Society is his game company that he made. He was going to make a game that nobody knows if it's even going to come out now, because literally the main selling point was that it was DrDisrespect's game, kind of like the game Shroud has now. So if if there's no DrDisrespect behind the game, is there even a game, right? So people are going to obviously be cut for that reason.
Because of you, Cody.
I don't think it's fair to accuse Cody of, like, firing people. I think he probably has more than enough money to pay these people. So that's a little unfair. I don't agree with Cody Connors. I don't agree with DrDisrespect's actions. But I also think it's very unfair to accuse someone of you making the choice to lay off people.
Through all this, we are where we are. And like a fucking man, I'll accept it. What I don't accept is sitting quietly by and let these idiots attack me with false accusations. No. For all these doc haters out there too, oh man, the ones that project and project and project and project and worry about everyone else's problems, right? I can't understand that mindset. I could care less. We've always stayed in our lane. But somehow, some way, these people, they just get in our lane.
Well, that's the thing. Like, nobody really had a problem with you. You might have had some hot takes, some controversial tweets, a bit on the little more conservative, right-leaning side of the internet where you're a little too based for other people. That's one thing. But once you go into that lane of, liking the little people, you're not only offending the woke people, the left people, the Twitter crybabies. Now you're offending the sane, normal people who think that it's a problem to talk to minors. I don't think there's any problem with people being upset at you for that reason.
For all you doc haters, I'm sure you'll dissect all of this and still find a way to publicly criticize me. Do what you need to do.
Well, yeah, because this video truly didn't do much. Again, until you're willing to show some screenshots or the chat logs or prove that any of what you're saying is true compared to what Cody Connors said, it's all just hearsay, right? And I'm giving both sides a fair criticism and critique in my eyes. But again, it's all just hearsay from two sides.
I'll say this isn't for you. This was for my team today, my community, my friends, La Familia that have supported me. And I'm not denying the exchange of whispers, champs. I'm not denying that to all of you out there. It looks bad. I have no way of knowing if the Twitch user thought our exchange of whispers was inappropriate. If it was, I apologize. All I know is that I never did what Twitch, Cody Connors, or the public is claiming that I did. That's it. I'm not saying anything more about any of this, right? Unless I need to, because trust me, I have more I haven't disclosed.
Spicy.
I just want to get back to what we do best. Put on a show and climb our way to the tippity top of the mountain, man.
And there it is, my friends. There is his speech. After this, he goes on to play Black Ops 6 for a little bit. He's still playing it, I think, to this day, or like to this hour. So if you want to go watch the video, it'll be linked live. DrDisrespect, the truth. I've given my my thoughts on this whole situation. Like, I've given my fair feedback. I gave my feedback when it happened. As new things have slowly come out, new allegations started to slowly come out, new articles came out, I was giving my feedback. And overall, I feel like nothing really changed. I feel like the timing of everything was just really bad. Bad taste, bad faith. You know, DrDisrespect posting his statement, editing it, re-editing it, deleting it. You know, posting memes, making fun of people's pronouns, posting, you know, chess and checker things, videos, hyping up his return, and then making this very long live stream to try to debunk everything, which wasn't really much of a debunk. I still am not, you know, really on his side. I feel like nothing changes in my eyes. Again, I wasn't the biggest fan. I wasn't the biggest enemy. I still stand by the side that we need more concrete proof before I make a decision. Again, I think he's a creep. You're texting minors and then saying like, well, it was the age of consent. The age of consent is weird. Stick to 18-year-olds, bro, if you're gonna go that low. It just saves everyone a headache. And if you have a wife and kids, just stay away from other women, bro. Either way, my friends, let me know what you thought of the video. Let me know what you thought of Doc's statement and word on all of this. Like, subscribe, share it. I appreciate you all coming out. Peace out, my friends. Bye.